That's what people need to identify with.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be famous or do you just want to do it?
Right.
Because you could do it right now.
Yeah. And this is something you'd be doing whether or not the money was coming in.
Yes,
and that's
'cause I
what
was
makes
doing
the
it.
big difference. Yeah, because
No
you were
bread
doing it.
for a minute.
Yeah. Place, it's Unpacked That with Miabelle.
Yeah,
Unpack That with Miabelle.
That's right.
We are here. Eric Bellinger, you are in the building.
Yes.
Live in the flesh.
Live.
You've been working so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I just got to speak life into you first because I feel like people need to hear that.
Yeah.
The consistency is real.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
When it comes to the music, you've been very consistent. And I feel like whenever your name is mentioned in rooms, people always have good things to say about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they respect the craft. Okay?
Yeah.
That's one. I'm not done yet.
That's good.
Okay?
That's good, yeah.
It's more.
Okay.
The project is out.
Yeah.
1-800 Easy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Line 2.
Line
Love
2.
it.
Thank
You just
you.
got off tour.
Yep.
Was it 32 cities? More?
I want to say 33.
33. That's important.
Yeah.
that's a
That
lot.
last one is like, exactly.
It's a special number, too.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you're a family man and someone who's really doing the work. And I could tell because when I go on your wife's page,
It's a big cheese.
she's speaking you up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. That's
You
how
are her
can tell.
baby.
That's true.
And I just know that you're doing the work, you know, when it comes to the music. You're doing it at home. You're carrying that energy with you everywhere that you go.
Yes.
And it is very apparent. And I want to applaud you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the
So-
love and the flowers.
Of course. You
For
need to
real.
hear it. Now, how
Yeah.
do you feel? And what space are you in now? Emotionally, mentally,
Yeah.
physically?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been going nonstop, like we were saying earlier, just no breaks, and luckily,
Uh-huh.
I love it
Really?
so much. It's
Mm.
my passion. It's my jobby and my hobby, as I like to say.
I love that.
You know, like if I wasn't doing it for my career
Mhm.
and I was doing something else, I would still be doing it. Like same way I like to go maybe play golf or, you know, go to the gym.
Right.
I would be in the studio, you
Right.
know, so it comes so natural that it's like, don't fight it, you know, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, you know, of course I like to get out there and do cool stuff with the homies and the family, but it's so easy for me to continue to turn around records and let it be all profit.
Right. Because it's you. It's in you.
It's in me. It's like, it's all coming. I can sit there for an hour and then I'll have currency
Right.
in an MP3 form.
Without even thinking about it.
Without even thinking, like, let's just go make a song. Now we have a song to sell, to give away, to drop.
Right.
It's up to us.
Now, has it always been like that? Because I know, first of all, I didn't learn until today that you used to play football.
Yeah.
You still in the gym?
Yeah.
Like, that's still a passion of yours?
Football. I mean,
Not
I play
football,
like
but just-
in leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
But being fit
but
and
being fit,
physically.
yeah.
Okay.
That's like, especially now, I'm back on a kick. I think we trained for tour just to get, you know, in shape and have the cardio and make sure I had the right wind to be singing for an hour every day.
Right. Ooh, that's
shirt
important.
off, R&B.
Come on.
So it's like, you know, I'm eating right, I'm working out, you know, and that on top of everything else we was mentioning, the discipline is just, you know, it's a different level of discipline, but that's why it's a different level of frequency.
Right.
I'm working that much harder to make sure that I'm on point, that when people see me and they have an expectation that I supersede it with flying colors.
Right.
You know, I already know, like you said, like once you have a track record, people are expecting now.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool, I got to make sure I don't disappoint.
Of course. Now, you started off choosing music because that is your passion and it comes so easily. It's something that's in you. Was there ever a point in your career where it felt too much like work, where you're like, I got to step back, and then now
Yeah.
you're back in this space where it's like
writing
easy?
got to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you get a hit or some success, the entire music industry says who wrote that song
And where he at?
and where he at, or she. Shout
Or
out to
she.
them.
Yeah. Come on. I got.
I gotta. But you was talking about me.
Yeah.
So that
Thank
you good.
Thank you.
But I had to do my thing and represent for the
girls.
ladies like I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's literally, you know, once they find out the success, they chase it. Like, so now Rihanna just went crazy and every label is calling, yo, what's up? We need a song just like Rihanna, We Found Love.
Right.
Like, first of all, your artist is not
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna. Second of all, that's already been done.
Yeah.
Third of all, like I'm overwhelmed with too many calls saying the exact same thing.
Right.
So it did start to feel like work. It started to feel like not as fun,
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you're in that position of being of service,
Mm-hmm.
if the people that you are being of service to don't appreciate it and don't make it fun and don't make the process enjoyable,
Right.
it's kind of like, forget it then. Like, I'll just write my own songs and drop my own songs
Yeah.
and, you know, do the same thing you doing. Like, I write the song for you, you get paid as many times as you go do shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just do that for myself so I can continue to, you know, double up, triple up, quadruple up off
Make
one
that
lick.
money. Absolutely.
hmm
Now, was that record the one that did it for you? Because you've been writing for
Which
so
one?
many artists.
Which one? I forgot. Which one we
Rihanna.
was talking about? Oh, no, no, no. I was just speaking in general, but like, man, writing with Rihanna, I think it was just all the people at the same time. Like
Right.
it was a camp that I went to for Rihanna in London, and then
Mm-hmm.
that was like a bunch of Rock Nation people. So now there was another camp going on for Beyonce, and it was like, oh, Eric killed it at the Rihanna camp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like word of mouth, is how you gonna get your opportunities and no new doors open. If you stay home and you only writing and you only working with yourself, it's gonna stay to the four walls. But if you get outside and you really, attach feet to your faith, God'll meet you halfway.
Right. Now, do you have to switch gears when you're writing for yourself versus
hmm
other people? Like, what
Yeah.
is that like?
I think for me it's so much easier because I'm already in tune. I already know
Mm-hmm.
what to do. My
Right.
instinct, my gut, I trust that. It's never disappointed me. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to writing for other people, I gotta tap into their world. I gotta
How do you
tap
do
into
that
their
though?
life. I don't like to do it without them. Like
Mm.
sometimes you gotta write to the point where they respect you enough to call you to the room.
Come
So you
on.
gotta really work your way up to getting in the rooms with people. But once I got in the studio with people, it was like I'm nailing everything. Now I'm breaking it down. How you doing? What's up? What's going on with you? What's your situation like right now? You dating? You
Right.
single? You
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 interview
in
them
love?
basically.
Yeah, I'm getting. And while we having a conversation, I'm just taking mental notes, little bullet points of things, and then next thing you know, I'm like, all right, cool, I got something, and then I
Right.
just wrap that whole thing up and just like read it to them back, and you know what I mean, and with melody over the beat that they chose out of the 25 that we went through,
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
you know.
And is it always like first take and they're just like, yeah,
hmm
this is fire? Or is it like, hey, can you go back, change that a little bit? Like, I want to know the full process of how this works.
It's definitely like before I got in the booth, I have
Mhm.
like maybe one or two lines.
Okay.
I don't like to go in there aimlessly because I want to go in there and shock people immediately because that's important too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to hear the parts where I don't have it yet
Right.
because you're going to be skeptical.
Right.
I need to paint you the vision
Mm-hmm.
as vivid as I possibly can the
Yeah.
first listen because you're already anticipating and waiting to judge.
Mm-hmm.
So now, okay, cool. You want me to go in there and lay some melodies? All right, cool. Let's talk a little bit. Put the beat on loop. Where the lighter at? Dim the lights. Y'all got some shots. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm marinating like the whole time. They don't even know it.
Right.
But so by the time I get in the booth, I already got like the energy that we need in order for us to continue. Because I'm only trying to go in there. Once I go in there, I'm going in there like 60 seconds. Like I'm going in there 1 minute, 5 minutes to lay the melody idea.
Okay.
But that melody idea is going to have everything in it. It's going to be the entire format. I'm going to sing it one time. You're going to have verse, pre, hook, post, second verse.
Mm-hmm.
Format it completely. Like I remember the entire melody format in my head, and then some words I'll scat out because maybe I got a concept too.
Right.
So if I have like 2 lines and I got the melody like formatted,
Mm-hmm.
and I go in there and I go crazy, that's enough for me to walk out and be like, okay, I just laid a melody. What you think?
Right. It's giving genius, by the
It's
way.
giving now. They're like, that's it. That's crazy. Every part. Wow, it's all laid out. I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, I know it's all laid out.
Yeah.
So now let's loop one part and let's play jigsaw puzzle and come up with the words together. Or I got it. If you don't want to help out, I'll just go back in the booth. And, when they're a part of it, they feel connected to it, which gives me a much larger chance of, nailing that placement because they feel connected to the record.
Absolutely. You're a true artist, a true musician. You can hear it, through your work. You can hear it through the artists that you work with.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you
Thank
gave
you.
Justin Bieber the flavor that I was looking for back then. I didn't even know that was
The
you.
one.
But after finding out, 'cause that's my favorite joint, right here.
Yeah, right here.
I said it had to be a black man.
Right here. Had to be a black man.
Had to be. You
And
gave
this
him
is
the
the 10-year
flavor.
anniversary this week that song dropped. I was just talking about that. Yeah,
Really?
the believers, they hit me with the congrats 10-year for the Believe album.
That is when I started believing.
Believing, right? Yeah.
Right here.
Listen, that was a vibe. That was another one of those, like, I was in the studio with Usher. I played him a song, Thought of You.
Right.
Which is actually also on that song.
Yeah.
On that album, And he was like, this song is fire, but it sounds like younger. He was like, I think the melodies and all that's there, but play it for Justin Bieber.
Ooh.
I hadn't met him at the time. He was like, I'm gonna link y'all. I was like, cool. Got in the studio. Hey, what up, Justin? Usher told me to play this. Bow. Played it. He said, I love it. I want to cut it right now.
Perfect.
I said, what, right now?
I love how those relationships fester. It's like so natural and so genuine.
Yeah.
And I think when that happens, that's when the best music comes out of it, or the best situations.
Yeah.
Even your relationship with Usher. Seeing you on Tiny Desk,
Yeah.
that was such a big deal. And I
was
think it
big.
reminded people too that we need to see Eric on his own Tiny Desk.
It did.
It did.
It did a lot. It did
I
a
was
lot.
reading the comments.
It was a refresh button for Eric Bellinger. I think I have been killing it, on like the underground R&B, like
right.
people know. Like,
Yeah.
if you know energy. And Usher brought it to center stage, and he brought it to the main stage. And, I think when people saw that, because everybody and their mama is watching Usher do a Tiny Desk.
Right.
It really, really made people say, like you said, who's that? And now when people come in, I have so many things going on that it's like the fan base that we already got is like, oh, we've been missing out. Like, y'all been rocking over there?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, it's a little wave that is finally coming to fruition in a way that I believed could, but wasn't sure if it would.
Yeah. And it happened.
Yeah.
Now, talk about that relationship and when you guys met and how you continued to grow in that space, because I think those are it's genuine because of the love that he shows and just how he speaks of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that just is a testament of what kind of one musician you are, and to a person too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of motherfuckers, they don't show love like that.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
For real. And I didn't know he was gonna do all that. He hit me. He was like, "Yo, what you doing? What's up, little bro? Where you at?" I was like, "Man,
that is exactly how he sounds, by the way.
What's up, man? Where you at?" I was like, "Yo, I'm in Atlanta. I happen to be in Atlanta coincidentally, because I need you to pull up
Nothing is
on
by
me."
coincidence.
Right? God planned
Come
that.
on.
God planned that.
Yeah.
Can you come by? I'm like, "Yep, I can come by." So I pulled up, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to do the Something in the Water festival with me with Pharrell.
Yeah.
I want you to come out. I want you to do your own song. It's gonna be crazy." I was like, cool. He didn't even mention the Tiny Desk thing.
Yeah.
And then when we flew to DC that morning, they was like, "Oh, by the way, y'all, we doing Tiny Desk too." I was like, "Oh."
I love
So
that.
really
And
wasn't
you
no
did
time to
Superstar.
prep. You just had to be ready.
You performed Superstar with him at
Yeah.
Something in the Water.
I did. Yep.
Yes.
So I knew I was gonna do it then, but I didn't know I was gonna do it at the Tiny Desk joint too. But man, I'm sure glad he, did that, because it just allowed people to see what I can do and gave me the opportunity to go viral in something that was worth going viral for.
Yeah.
You know?
Classic. And what's so crazy is when he threw it to you in the Tiny Desk. Look, I get nervous for everybody. And I know that you're great, but that note,
It's up there.
it's really up there.
It's not up here or here. It's up here.
It is.
And it's a long one.
It's a very long one. And
there's no auto-tune or nothing up there.
Right.
They don't have anything. You better know how to sing. Like,
exactly. And that first note, it's always a little, you might have a little Fleming. You might skip
it was
a
the
beat.
morning too.
That's what I'm saying. So when he threw it, I'm like, and then you came with it. I'm not even going to try, but you came with it. And you set the tone, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
like you said, a beautiful viral moment, a refresher button for
Yeah.
your fans. And for people who know too,
Yeah.
like, yeah, he been doing it.
Yeah.
And I love that for you
Man, thank you.
in
Thank
so
you.
many ways.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the project.
Okay.
You and Hitmaker.
Dynamic duo.
I love it. I love it. Now, what were those
Yes.
first conversations like where it was like, okay, we got to get together and get something done in this space, in this R&B
Yeah.
space?
It started off being writing for other artists.
Okay.
People hit Hitmaker and they hit Easy. So it was like, yo, why don't we make this like 1-800-HIT Easy, drop our own project instead of calling, trying to place the records, like, hey, we did this record for you. Hey, we did this record for you. It's like, nah, you an artist. He was like, let's just drop a project. So
Right.
once we like picked the ones that we loved, it was like, cool, let's drop it. But this album was like, let's intentionally write the songs for me. So I can hear the difference a little bit with line 1 and line 2, but both of them, I love both.
Yeah, for sure. And you can tell, I mean, they're grouped in that way where it's like you needed
Yeah.
you needed it.
You
the
need that.
continuation.
Yeah, man. I think it's important to have that duo in music. You know,
Right.
like all the greats, when you think musicians and artists, they had that producer that was, you know, with them, the same as basketball. All the legendary basketball players had the coach that was, you know, kind of guiding them. It's important for the talent to be able to do their thing on the field with somebody up top,
Right.
you know, looking down on the whole field,
Yeah.
calling the plays.
Yep, that's exactly what that is. And with you, when I listen to your music, I just know that your respect for women is like a real one.
Yeah.
Like, there's motherfuckers who like women,
Yeah.
motherfuckers who like fucking women,
Yeah.
and there's motherfuckers who just love women, like their
Yeah.
femininity. They embrace
Yeah.
that. They
Yeah.
understand that. And I can hear that in the music. By the way, one, you talk about us. Two, the things that you notice.
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal, though.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I got a song called Notice. Did you think I didn't know this?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know what I'm saying? Like,
And then it ties in
yeah.
for me with you being a family man and the relationship that you and your lady have cultivated. And it's so beautiful. You guys have been together for such a long time. You met through music, right? And I don't know. It feels real in a
Yeah.
sense for your respect and love for women. And I see it
Yeah.
in the music.
Thank
and I
you.
kind of want you to speak to that because it is a lost
It's a lost thing right now.
thing.
It's a lost thing. It's vice versa.
Right.
It's both ways.
I believe that too.
At this point.
Right.
And-
There's gender wars happening out here.
it's
Like,
like-
what is that about?
It's getting crazy, man. And I saw it coming.
Did you?
I saw it coming. I had to get out the game. I had
See?
to get out the game.
Come on.
I had to get out
Because
the
that's
game.
where I want to go with it. At what point did you
Yeah.
realize that you were ready to get out the game and ready to
Yeah.
embrace that femininity and womanhood?
No, it was for me. It was when Lamaya was like giving me and showing me everything that I needed to feel safe.
Ooh.
You know what I
Ooh,
mean? To
that's important.
feel safe.
Uh-huh.
Putting all the eggs in one basket and a couple extra eggs, same basket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, I'm gonna just put the eggs in the basket.
Right.
You gonna put the eggs in you gonna see me put the eggs in the basket, take them out for me every day, and polish the eggs and put them back,
Right.
and clean the dust out the basket. Just because you see me doing the effort for you, and it's like, you know, when you make that effort for your significant other, they come back harder.
Exactly.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, because you're giving it to them. You're showing them
giving
that
it
it's
to
okay
them.
to do it.
Yeah, like I could be taking care of myself right now, and I'll be straight. But if I give my all to take care of you, who's gonna take care of me?
Right.
If it isn't you,
Right.
probably one of these other floozies. Therefore, we gotta make sure that we're doing it together for each other. Like
Right.
I can fully give to her because I know she's fully gonna give to me.
Right.
So now the reciprocation is consistent, and it just means so much that it's like, man, I could tell. Like I've tried it before,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't always like that. So once I felt like, okay,
So were
it's just
you?
lopsided. I got to
Mm-hmm.
get out of here. If it's not the same, I got to get out of here because now I'm gonna end up hating you.
Right. But as the man, do you show that, do you put that foot forward first to see
Yeah,
whether or not it's being reciprocated? Like, what makes
yeah,
a man feel safe in that space to do so? Because I feel like
mm-hmm,
a lot of men,
yeah,
they're scared.
yeah. Not being afraid to fail. You
They're
can't be
so
afraid of
terrified
like of
of,
failing because you've already failed.
right.
You know, so
But like terrified of love and vulnerability and like
yeah,
being
because you don't want to
open.
get hurt. Because at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, think about it. Society, the culture is like, yo, if I was to give myself to this woman completely and she play me
Right.
like the last one did,
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna be the fool? You know what I'm saying?
You
So
boo boo, but you're gonna have to get up and try again.
you do.
Dust them
You do.
shoulders
But
off.
this is the reason why. People is probably like, it's probably safer for me to just guard my heart
Right.
and not even give it to nobody no more because I don't know who this person is. I don't know who they've been with. I don't know what their situation is. Even if they look me in the eye and tell me, I still
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
So once people can fully trust in you know, like we've been together 10 years, but we known each other 20.
Right.
You know, so it's
Oof.
kind of different when I feel like I know her my whole life. Like the important times is like I was around her, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like looked up to her and knew her and her sister since I was in my first singing group because she was in a singing group with the same manager,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like it was a no-brainer for me. Like even now, every day is still a no-brainer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I think if she wasn't meeting me where I was at, I would have been out.
Right.
I just would have been out because I know my worth. I know my value. And I think a lot of people know their worth and their value nowadays. We live in a very self-care first like time. Like everybody is woke now on self-healing and self-care and putting
Mm-hmm.
yourself first. So it's even tougher, you know, to feel like somebody is doing that with you. But I feel like one step to finding the right partner is find someone that you can find yourself and they can find themselves on like a journey together. Like
Right.
maybe y'all both are reading or maybe y'all are both meditating or y'all are both, you know, doing things that brings you closer. And I think if you can connect on things that take you to a higher frequency,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's going to resonate. You know, if you're doing things as like, what y'all do for fun? Oh, we go to Dave and Buster's. Or like, what
Right.
y'all do for fun? Or like, shit, at the house, Netflix, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's gonna stay there. It's like whatever you know, pour into it is what it's gonna give out. But if you like really investing, like, man, we reading the Bible or, you know, we
Ooh.
taking trips together or we reading or we talking about 5-year plans together. Like, if I know your 5-year plan, if I know your 10-year plan and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like we constantly talking and it constantly changes and it constantly evolves and I'm constantly there to help guide you,
Right.
it's like I'm walking with you. It don't
Yeah.
even feel like a relationship no more. It just feels like a purpose partner. It feels like somebody that God gave me to help my battle, you know, not be as heavy.
Yeah. It's one thing to have chemistry with someone, and then another thing for lifestyles to like come together.
Yeah.
That's like what makes a relationship. So I've heard.
Yeah. No, it's true. We met doing music. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so with me, it's like, yo, I got to be gone 2 weeks. Or, hey, I'm in the studio till 4 in the morning. Or,
Right.
hey, I got to cancel on our dinner. You know what I'm saying? I've
Mm.
canceled on dinner for somebody in the past and we in an argument. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you crazy. What you talking about?
Right.
You know, but with her doing the same thing, understanding, all she does is encourage me to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah, like you should be
you should
there
be there.
because she
Strike while the iron is
understands.
hot.
Right.
That's her, you know, favorite thing. Cause she knows, like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta go. You know, why they calling you? Like, just I'm here. You know, we
Right.
locked in. So, you know, and then seeing her and taking care of my kids, and that's another love. And knowing what she's done, like what the woman body has done. And
That's that appreciation.
that woman body, it ain't no joke. Like a
Come on.
woman have your baby for you, you forever indebted. You know, like. And not only that, but it's like to take care of them, and now you got them on a routine, and now they don't eat red meat, or they only eat that, or they don't eat that.
A
Like
mother's
I
love
didn't
is
do none of
different.
that. You know, I don't have to do none of that, but I
Right.
know that they solid. I do my part. My part is okay, cool. I'm taking care of the house, and we going and we hanging. I'm taking you to the park, and I'm playing with you, and I'm teaching you manly things. I got two boys, so it's a lot easier for me to connect with them and I get to relive my childhood. So I'm feeling younger and younger
Right.
as they're getting older and older.
Right. And unlearn certain things and teach them in ways that
Yep.
maybe you weren't taught growing up.
Yeah, my way.
What is that like for you, being a
It's
parent?
amazing. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you are on the principal's list. Yeah, because we
Yeah.
ain't playing with you. like pandemic, we're the parents that are reading with you for 4 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm teaching him how to meditate during the pandemic. So it's like,
That's beautiful.
we doing that, you know? And I think I wanted to be an example, not only in music, but in order for me to be an example in music, everything came with it.
Right.
You can't be the president if you don't have a wife. Like, we ain't letting nobody in that White
Say that
House
again.
without a wife.
Look into that camera and
Hey,
say
you
that.
can't, you can't be a king without a queen, right? You know, if he was a king and you didn't have a queen, you wasn't really the king, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's certain things that's important for me to be who I say I am and to stand on it and to consistently do it and practice what I preach. And I think when you see me doing those things, it's like it's a lot easier to trust than me trying to cram my relationship down your throat.
Right.
Ain't no cram. Like, we love each other. If we happen to catch it on camera that day, if we feel like posting it, maybe.
Right.
This ain't for y'all.
Right.
Our when we got married, it was me and her. It was no wedding.
Yeah.
Love, when people make it for other people, it's just a shame because the other people ain't trying to make it for them. So it's like, nah, we ain't doing this for y'all. I don't care who eating no chicken dinners.
Right.
I don't care who's watching me kiss you when he say kiss the bride. I don't care what y'all wearing, with where it's at. None of that matters.
Right.
No offense to nobody doing everything and doing the dream wedding. Like, do it. Do what's best for you. But for what me and Lamaya was on, it was simply to stand in the gap for the generation and really try to be that, what we feel should be the standard. You know what I mean? The normal.
Yeah.
It's like
real.
The love is real. So it's makes it easy. It's like, we not trying. That's the thing. Like, people be trying. They be linking with people for gain.
Right.
For benefit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gonna crumble if it doesn't start and if it's not rooted in the right foundation. You know what I'm saying?
How do you channel that love in your music? Because when I listen, I'm thinking of her. Seriously. That's why I just know how much and how real that it is. And that's why I say, you got to talk to these motherfuckers. Because love is a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing when it's right, but only when it's right. Like, when people, like, I see people, like, break up, and I look at it like, yo, it wasn't the right situation.
Right.
It doesn't mean give up on love. I wouldn't encourage nobody to give up on love, but I will say, if that's not the right person, run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I think coming to terms with it being the wrong person is
that's
the
hardest part.
Yeah.
Because now you sticking it
it's
out.
so hard.
Now you know, trying not to have to meet nobody else's parents. Now you trying not to have to get a new circle of friends. Now you trying, it's like, now it still ain't about you.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm telling you, when it's really about you and you don't care, you gonna have it. You gonna have it. You know what I'm saying?
I think walking away with grace and just knowing that, hey, this didn't work out, and being okay with that is something that a lot of us have to learn. Me included.
Yeah, that's big time. That's big time. But I think that's real. I do think that's real. I got close friends that's like, it didn't work out.
Right.
And it's like, I get that, you know, like same with my mom and dad, like, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? But I look at it like, for me and my wife, it's like, man, when we look in each other's eyes, we see the next lifetime.
Oh, I love it.
For real.
See, that's a song right there. Next lifetime,
real.
please.
I guess I see you next lifetime again, not the next person.
Yeah. Now, Obsession.
Yes.
I love.
Thank you.
What else do I love? I love Curious, of course. The sample. Come on, D'Angelo.
Thank you, D'Angelo.
Come on, lady.
Thank you.
Was that a hard one to get, or was D'Angelo like, absolutely do it right now?
Hardest thing in my career.
Really? Tell me about it.
I pulled the song from the album.
Talk
I was
to me.
sad.
Yeah.
I knew that was my one too. I knew
I
knew that was the single. Like, that was the breakthrough hit.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to pull it because they wasn't responding.
Right.
So it was like, all right, let's drop something else, and we dropped Obsession.
Okay.
So I loved Obsession. Did a remix.
Yeah.
Did the
Shouts to
Obsession
Moneyball.
tour,
Uh-huh.
and it was just like, man, we need some tempo.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, all right, let's do B&B. Boom.
I love B&B too, though.
I like B&B
I
too.
love B&B.
It's a good one. It's
Come
a
on,
good
brand
one.
new bike. We don't talk about that after.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, all right, it's doing good, but we need the one. Like, what is happening? And we was dropping more songs. I dropped The Side, Something to See.
Mm-hmm.
And like the last week was about to turn into an album. We got an email. Hey. So all the singles was already out by then. So I was like, all the songs are gone. What we gonna do? Boom. So they approved it. Within no time, now it's like, oh, put it back on the album. Go through all the clearances. Let's get features, because I hadn't had no features on there. I was like, yo, if we drop this song, it's the single. We need features, so I'm not finishing the second verse. I don't care. So once it was time, it was like, yo, Corday, I need you, bro.
I like Corday on it a lot. It was giving me a little cold vibe.
Yeah, right? And then Hitmaker reached out to Fab.
Okay.
So I have songs with Fab in the past. We did a joint called 4 Digits back in the day. And I had always wanted to do another song with him. And when he said, yeah, I was like, get out of here. You crazy.
Perfect.
Sent back the verses and was like, all right, what we going to do? The album is dropping. We didn't know how we was going to figure it out. And then the Super Bowl weekend was in Arizona. I had a show in Arizona that weekend. Fab was hosting. Corday was hosting. Everybody was already going to be.
Oh, wow.
It was like the stars just kept aligning. Like, okay, God, this is what's supposed to happen. And we also going on tour. So now I get to perform the new song. I get to promote and do a tour and do a radio tour and see the people and drop it off in their doorstep. Like, it just couldn't have been laid out any better this last album cycle. So shout out to the whole team for putting together the plays, the time, the dates, because it was so seamless, It was real seamless.
What's the feedback you're getting from the project? And just the energy behind it all.
Yeah, people was hitting me like, yo, this is my favorite album you ever dropped. Like I'm getting that a lot. And it's interesting because on this album, it's the one I didn't try the most.
Right.
I really
See
didn't.
how crazy that always is?
I'm like, yo, this is the one. And we were saying after, like, watch this one go crazy. Because we not so, and we just like, okay, let's do that. Oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. And that energy just brought so much like motion. I think like when you hold a glass, it's like if you hold the glass too tight, it's gonna break.
Yeah.
So you hold it just enough to where it's like you
just
can let some flow, some free flow happen.
Yeah.
And we was real nonchalant, and
we gotta learn to release that pressure. That's like a real thing right there. And I think with everything that we do in life, we let go of that pressure and things just start happening smoothly. Like, let God lead the way.
Let God lead the way, because when you add your worry, you don't do nothing but add worry. Because if you take the worry away, low key, nothing's wrong anymore.
Right.
It's you. It's you worrying, and you're making a choice to worry.
Yeah.
Regardless if the circumstances may invite the worry a little bit more, you got a choice to make each day.
Yeah. And to release. And I'm telling you, every time that I choose to do so is when God be like, okay, here.
Yeah. It's
there
like,
you go.
Really?
Finally, girl.
Really?
Right.
Parking spot in the front, for real?
Right. All the time. That is so funny. I say that all the time.
Like, God, I'm going to need you. Oh, there you go.
There go the parking spot.
Yeah.
Especially here in New York.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love that. And I love that you say that, because we can hear it on the we can hear it in the music. Another thing we were talking about off camera, I love the features that you have on the project too, and how you're highlighting, other artists like Kaylin, for real.
Yeah.
You got Blast on there, Money Long.
Yeah.
And who are some
Tink.
people? Oh yeah, Tink too, who I love.
Yeah.
Who are some people that kind of brought you under their wing when you were coming up, that gave you that spotlight, that, makes you want to pay it forward in that way too?
Yeah. Game. Game is somebody that was like, once we like crossed paths and he knew I was from the city.
Mm-hmm.
He just started bringing me in on sessions, having me do hooks with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I needed, you know, like I'm a songwriter and I'm an artist.
Right.
So it's easy for me to go write the song and somebody be like, all right, cool, now let me go in the booth and cut it. Like, that was the normal process. But when somebody's like, yo, nah, you stay on there, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's real love,
Right.
you know? So he was like the first one to do that. And then Snoop did it too. Usher always was like, he knew when I met him the first time that I could be called upon
Mm-hmm.
in the way that he, you know, has been, and how, you know, the brotherhood we've built, because I know every Usher everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the inflections, the cadences, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like baby Usher, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like those kind of things, it made it easy for people, you know, to want to help too. Like I put the time and I did the research.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, since the beginning of my career, when I've been dropping mixtapes, albums, like I have Victoria Monet on an album 10 years ago.
Love
like,
her.
Blast, you know, me and him been working for 4 years, 5
Mm-hmm.
years before, you know what I'm saying, the success. And it's been like, just because I see talent and I know how it feels to be the talent that needs the shot. I always have worked with my peers, the
Right.
people that I believe in, and just believe that it would come back around and get to that. And here we are, man. R&B is like emerging in a way that it never has before, and I think people are missing it. People are crying out for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to be still here
Mm-hmm.
while the shift is coming back.
Yeah. The shift is real.
Mm-hmm.
And I love where it's at right now. And I
Mhm.
love where it's going.
Yeah.
I love that, you know, you are continuing your work in this genre that
Yeah.
people were trying to say,
Trying
you
to
know,
say.
lost.
Uh-huh.
But it's the foundation of, I feel like, just so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And I'm happy you're here and happy
Yeah.
you're doing it.
Thank you, same.
What advice would you say to those who are, you know, looking to break into this space
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with the struggles of the hustle? Because
Yeah.
it never stops.
Yeah.
Whatever level that you're on,
Yeah.
it does not stop ever.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say to
Yeah.
them?
Man, I would say if you have been aspiring to do music for a while, or even if it's a new dream of yours,
Mhm.
that you have more tools now than anyone ever has had before you.
Right.
Anything that, you know, Tupac and Prince and Marvin Gaye and
Mm-hmm.
the struggles that they needed to go through to get to a studio,
Ooh,
you can go to Guitar Center.
come on.
You can go to YouTube University.
Mm-hmm.
You can do everything. You got everything at your fingertips.
Right.
It's up to you to start it. And I look at it like, once you take that first step, you'll see what you need. You'll see what you're missing. And but it starts with you to just want to do it and be bold enough to go buy that microphone,
Yeah.
to go buy that hardware, to ask questions from your peers like, hey, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy, and it's just no excuse. It's just no excuse when it comes to music. Same way you can go buy a camera, and, you know, maybe the photographers is mad now because everybody could be a cameraman.
Right.
Everybody can't be you, though.
Exactly. Yeah. And perspective, I think, means so much, because a lot of people, sometimes they see you sitting in a seat and they're wondering how you got there, or they think that, you know, it was handed off to you, or because you're from a certain area, or whatever it is. You know, sometimes they don't see themselves in it.
Yeah.
And I think knowing your background and knowing that you said no to, you know, what could have been another life for you with football, and you chose your passion, you know, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And I know because I did it, you can do it. Like,
Right.
Like, now I know. I always wonder. And I did it independent.
Right.
I ain't never signed no major label in
That's
my
what I'm
career.
saying.
So it's like, I always wonder, like, can I have a charting song? Can I have a song on the radio? Can I have a Grammy nomination? Is that too far to ask? Is that too far of a feat to accomplish? You can do it all. Eric
of it.
Bellinger did it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I love it. It's easy, baby.
It's easy.
Just like that. Unpack that
It's
with
not.
Miabelle.
I worked hard at making it look easy.
Right. Oh,
But
really hard.
It's easy.
Yeah.
You can
Once
do
you
it.
get there.
Once you
Because
get
it's
there.
not easy, by the way.
It's not easy. So I was like, I don't want to say it's easy. It's just about doing it.
Yes.
Once you start, you're already doing it.
Right.
Do you want to be an actor or do you want to be famous?
Right.
You can start acting right now. Put one up on Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? That's what people need to identify with. Do you want to be famous or do you just want to do it?
Right.
Because you could do it right now.
Yeah. And this is something you'd be doing whether or not the money was coming in.
Yes,
and that's
'cause I
what
was
makes
doing
the
it.
big difference. Yeah, because
No
you were
bread
doing it.
for a minute.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I didn't know if that's why I was like, I didn't know if it would, but I knew it could.
Right.
Like I know it could be crazy.
And
I don't know if it will, but I don't care. I'm still working at the same rate.
Right.
Because it's not about that. It's not about what people get from it. It's about what I get from the release.
Come on.
It's about what I get from it. Me
Come on.
pouring out my art and knowing that was out and I painted that beautiful picture. That was it. That was the victory. I released it. The album day is out. We did it, guys.
Thank God, yeah.
Anything else? It's a cherry on top.
Oh, I love that. Once you say yes to yourself is when it becomes easy. And you
it.
said yes to yourself in the beginning.
Yes.
And that's why we're here today.
That's why we're here today, man. That's it, man. Independent artists.
Doing it.
That's the thing. Like, it wasn't the thing.
Right.
It wasn't the thing to be the, no. But I didn't care.
Right.
I was like, I'm dropping. The songwriter that's dropping the songs. People was looking at me like I was crazy.
Right.
I was like, all right. Okay, cool. 500 billion streams later. It's like, you can't think about tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think about when I'll get the big accomplishments. I literally was just like, I'm living my dream every day. So I know I'm going on a tangent, I keep saying, but I just want to really reiterate that. Like, do it for a cause, not for applause.
Oh,
It's important.
that's what it is. The intention behind it matters.
Yeah.
Eric Bellinger, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for being here.
Appreciate it.
All the gems dropped. Ooh, I'm inspired, baby.
Yeah, that part. Thank you.
And we about to hit R&B Wednesdays. You doing it. New
We
York
going
City.
up. That
Come
part,
on.
hop on the mic.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank
Let's
you.
get it.